the S25 FE is almost here, but the real question is, should you pay extra for the new Fan Edition, or just grab the S24 FE on discount and call it a day? In this video, I'll cover every difference so you know exactly which one to buy. Let's kick things off with the design. At first glance, it looks pretty much the same as last year, but there are some changes you won't catch just by looking at it. You'll feel them the second you pick it up. It's 0.6 millimeters thinner and 23 grams lighter compared to the S24 FE. Honestly, that's a neat little upgrade. The color options this time? Black, white, and 2 shades of blue, light and dark. Other than that, everything else stays the same. Glass on the front and back, aluminum frame, basically the same build quality as before. Now, the display is where things start to get interesting, but only if you know where to look. The size is still the same at 6.7 inches, and yes, the bezels are slightly slimmer, but the bottom chin is still a bit chunky. The display is still a 120Hz AMOLED, but here's the big upgrade. It's now LTPO, which means it can drop the refresh rate all the way down to save battery. Honestly, that's a solid upgrade. But the biggest difference? Brightness. The S25 FE is now 36% brighter in peak brightness mode. Step outside and you'll see the difference immediately. That's a solid upgrade for anyone who spends time outside. Now let's talk cameras. And here's the truth. There's really nothing major here. Samsung once again decided to use the exact same rear camera setup as the S24 FE. In fact, even the 2-year-old S23 FE had the same system. Now don't get me wrong, these cameras still take good photos for a mid-range phone. And yes, image processing will improve a little this year, but honestly, hardware is always better than software, and Samsung should have upgraded at least one lens by now. The only actual upgrade? The selfie camera. It's now 12 megapixels instead of 10 megapixels, the same one used in the S25 flagship series. So yeah, a small bump for selfies. And that's pretty much it. Moving on to performance, this one's interesting and a little frustrating. Here's the deal. Back in the early years, Fan Edition phones used the same processors as the flagship models, but last year, Samsung changed that. The S24 FE came with an underclocked version of the Exynos 2400. This year, Samsung went 2 steps further and gave the S25 FE the full Exynos 2400 chipset from last year's S24 and S24 Plus. Sounds good on paper, but here's the catch. Compared to this year's flagships, the gap is huge. Even compared to the last year's FE model, the difference is so small that you might honestly wonder, is this even an upgrade? Now, Samsung could have upgraded the RAM size to make up for that processor blunder they made, but it gets worse. RAM and storage? Still the same, 8 GB of RAM and similar storage options as before. So when it comes to performance, this is basically the S24 FE wearing a new badge. Now in battery and charging, this is where Samsung actually stepped up. Last year, the S24 FE got a nice boost in battery size, but this year, Samsung took it even further. The S25 FE is expected to have a 4,900 mAh battery, the same size as the flagship S25 Plus. And that's not all. It's also getting 45 watts fast charging. Honestly, this is the best upgrade we've seen on this phone. But here's the thing. When you compare both Fan Edition models side by side, it's hard to find a real reason to upgrade. If you're deciding between buying the S24 FE now or waiting for the S25 FE, here's my advice. Go for the S24 FE while the discounts are still hot. You'll save money, you'll still get pretty much the same experience, and you'll still get 6 years of Android updates. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more updates. This is Techtics, and I'll see you in the next one.